The Path of Light, A Journey to Islam, the City of Ignorance. In the bustling city of Makkah, young Khalid, the son of a wealthy merchant, lived a privileged but purposeless life. His father, Abu Zaid, was a respected trader, and their house was filled with silks from Persia and spices from Yemen. Despite the luxury, Khalid often found himself restless. He watched the elders of Quraysh worship their idols, but deep in his heart, he questioned their worth. One evening, he sat with his best friend, Ammar, outside the Kaaba, where they saw a man standing alone in prayer. It was Muhammad ibn Abdullah, a man known for his honesty and wisdom. Rumors had spread that he claimed to be a prophet, calling people to worship only one God, Allah. "Stay away from him," Ammar whispered. "The leaders say he is dangerous." But Khalid was intrigued. The whisper of truth. Days passed, and Khalid found himself drawn toward the new faith. One night, he overheard his father discussing Muhammad with another merchant. "This man speaks of justice, of helping the weak," his father said. "But if people listen to him, we will lose power." Khalid felt a surge of curiosity. If Muhammad's message was a threat to the wealthy, perhaps it meant he was speaking for the poor. Secretly, he went to the house of Al-Arqam, where Muhammad and his followers gathered. As he stepped inside, he heard a recitation that sent shivers down his spine. "Say, He is Allah, the one Allah, the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent." Surah Al-Ikhlas 112-14. It was the first time Khalid had heard such words. They were powerful, yet simple. His heart wavered. The price of faith. Khalid continued to visit secretly, learning about Islam. He was amazed by the kindness of the Muslims and the wisdom of the Prophet. But when his father discovered his visits, he was furious. "You will not disgrace our family," Abu Zayd thundered. "Choose your home and wealth, or this man's foolish religion." Khalid hesitated. Leaving his home meant poverty and persecution. But the words of Muhammad echoed in his mind: "Whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, he will replace it with something better." With a heavy heart, Khalid chose faith. His father disowned him, and he fled to the Muslims, knowing his life would never be the same. Trials and tribulations. Life as a Muslim in Makkah was difficult. The Quraysh tortured believers, starved them, and even killed some. Khalid saw Sumaya, the first martyr of Islam, die for her faith. Yet the Muslims remained steadfast. One day, Khalid was caught by a group of Quraysh leaders. They beat him and left him in the scorching desert. As he lay there, weak and in pain, he thought of his family, his old life. Was this worth it? Then, he remembered the Prophet's words: "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." Surah Ash-Shar 94-6. Summoning his last strength, he crawled toward the shade of the rock and whispered, "Ya Allah, guide me." The migration. When the Prophet ordered the Muslims to migrate to Medina, Khalid was among the first to go. The journey was long and dangerous, but when they arrived, they were welcomed with open arms. For the first time in his life, Khalid felt peace. The Muslims built their new home, and Khalid worked hard, even though he had nothing. He realized that true wealth was faith, not gold. The call to battle Makkah did not leave the Muslims in peace. Soon, war came. At the Battle of Badr, Khalid stood among the believers, facing an army 3 times their size. He gripped his sword, fear creeping into his heart. But then he saw the Prophet standing firm, raising his hands in dua. "O Allah, grant us victory." With newfound courage, Khalid fought bravely. Against all odds, the Muslims triumphed. It was a sign that Allah was with them, victory and return. Years passed, and the Muslims grew stronger. Eventually, they marched back to Makkah, not as exiles but as victors. Khalid walked through the streets where he was once beaten, now filled with believers proclaiming, "La ilaha illallah." His father, now old and frail, watched from a distance. Khalid approached him, not with anger, but with love. "Father," he said, Islam is not the loss of honor. It is the path of truth. Abu Zaid, seeing his son's strength and kindness, finally understood. Tears filled his eyes as he whispered, "Tell me about your prophet." Epilogue, the journey of faith. Khalid's journey was not just about leaving his home, it was about finding his true purpose. Islam gave him strength, wisdom, and peace. And in the end, the light of faith illuminated not just his heart, but the hearts of many who once opposed it. Moral of the story: Islam is a journey of struggle, sacrifice, and faith. Those who seek the truth with sincerity will find guidance, no matter how difficult the path.